The governments of the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada are simultaneously issuing identical warnings to their citizens: stay out of the region. This sudden diplomatic alarm centers on June 9th. Local organizers have planned massive, region-wide protests, and Western intelligence agencies anticipate severe volatility in the streets on that day. The severity of these warnings is reflected in the Canadian government's explicit statement that they will be unable to provide consular assistance. If visitors become trapped in the unrest, their home embassies cannot guarantee a way out. Coordinated emergency travel advisories from multiple global powers identify this as a tangible crisis with broad international implications. Obtaining live footage of these protests is increasingly difficult. Islamabad has severed internet access and instituted a complete media blackout across the territory. Pakistan's official response has been defensive. The government has issued formal statements demanding that foreign powers stop commenting on what they characterize as a sovereign internal affair. Maintaining a stance of sovereign confidence contradicts the decision to plunge millions of citizens into a digital dark age. A communications blackout of this scale is a glaring admission of vulnerability. It is the move of an administration terrified of what the international community might witness. The organization leading the unrest is the Joint Awami Action Committee, or JAAC. They have successfully mobilized a civilian uprising that has brought commerce and daily transit across the entire territory to a standstill. Security forces have responded with violence, firing directly into crowds of their own civilians. These clashes have resulted in casualties among both the security personnel and the protesters. Islamabad has officially banned the JAAC. The central government recognizes that the committee's ability to mobilize thousands of angry citizens is a force that even the military is currently struggling to suppress. With hundreds of thousands refusing to retreat in the face of armed force, the situation has shifted from a localized protest into an uncontrollable internal uprising. These protests are driven by an economic breaking point. Policymakers in Islamabad have overseen an 11% inflation rate that has rendered the cost of living unsustainable for the local population. This infrastructure illustrates the local grievance. The territory possesses abundant hydroelectric resources, yet citizens face extortionate electricity prices because the government has failed to build the necessary local distribution networks. Systemic wealth extraction has siphoned resources away from the region to enrich provinces like Punjab and Sindh. This leaves the local population unable to afford basic survival staples, including wheat and milk. The uprising is a direct response to the mathematical impossibility of survival under Islamabad's extractive economic policies. The crisis is exposing significant diplomatic rifts. While the United States continues to use the term Azad, or free Kashmir, Canada's recent warnings utilize the label Pakistan-administered Kashmir. To maintain a facade of stability, the government in Islamabad is moving forward with plans to hold local elections in the disputed territory. International observers have dismissed these upcoming polls as a sham. They are seen as a move to mask the reality of a military hybrid regime struggling to maintain order. Attempting to project legitimacy through bureaucracy is ineffective when security forces are violently clashing with the public in the streets. The current instability is generating from within the territory's own borders, a shift from the historical focus on external conflict with India. The combination of double-digit inflation and soaring food costs has turned the struggle for basic survival into a catalyst for civilian defiance against the state. This internal pressure suggests a new geopolitical reality. A large portion of the territory could organically separate from Pakistan simply because the local population refuses to be governed by them any longer. Islamabad's authority in the region is currently disintegrating from within.